let's move on to more ambitious people. Ooh, okay. Blessed Njugush.
Yes.
And I've always been conflicted. Is it Blessed Njugush or Blessed Njugush? What is it?
I think it depends on where you were raised.
Kindergarten yako ilikuwa wapi? Okay. If you went to kindergarten in a certain part of town, you're going to say blessed.
Maybe
okay?
even breasted.
Hashtag blessed. But if you went to Kenya, you're going to say blessed. So anyway, Blessed Njugush is giving us an insight as how his name came to be. And he's saying it was inspired by none other than Lupita Nyong'o. Now let's remember, number one, Lupita Nyong'o is from Kenya, okay? The same way we claim Barack Obama is the same way we claim Lupita Nyong'o. She started out doing Kenyan films, and then she went on to Sugar. If you remember Sugar, please pop your vitamins, eh? Kunywa vitamins, enda gym, anza kukunywa uji.
Gosh.
So anyway, she was in Sugar, and her role was exceptional. Because I remember, okay, during that time, it wasn't allowed for us to watch Sugar.
Yeah.
Because it was very
explicit content. Yeah.
However, I did love her role. I couldn't imagine that a Kenyan would do such scenes. It was so eye-opening. She went in there and she did her thing. Yani, I was in awe of Lupita Nyong'o. Anyway, she finishes that and moves on to greater heights. And now she is world famous, okay? She is doing big things. And we hold on to that. So anyway, Blessed Njugush, starting his career, also had that thing in him. He was like, you know what? I am going to be the next Lupita Nyong'o. I am going to represent my country over here in the country and transcend our borders. Africa, the world, and everything. And when he started his career, he started with a show that we all know and love called The Real House Helps of Kawangware. However, initially, like those first, let's say the first episode, the pilot, you know, or maybe let's just say the first season, it was not very good.
It really wasn't.
He says it is akin to what those, zitangwaje, zile exhauster. Zile lorries exhauster, what they carry inside. It was akin to that. And Kenyans on Twitter went ham on him and on them basically because, let's be honest, it was not that good. I think the writing was off. Yeah, before they brought in, you know, Abel Mutua, or maybe he was over there doing the scripts already. But anyway, it didn't get a good reception at first. And Kenyans on Twitter, being mean as always, if you get trolled on Twitter, Kenyan Twitter, it's over for you. You can just go back to the village. Anyway, after he's been trolled on Twitter, he said, you know what, guys, ni ukweli. His response was, then watu wa Twitter, ni ukweli, ata mimi nimenotice. And then, a few weeks later, Lupita tweets and says, watching Real Housewives of Kawangware, I wish everybody understood Swahili. God bless Njuguna. And that is where Blessed Njugush came from. And now he's saying it was just a crazy experience because you would never expect that Lupita, somebody you're looking up to, would watch your things and be impressed by it. Yani to the point that she's wishing that all you people knew Swahili. Kuna auto-translate. Kuna subtitles siku hizi.
It hits different.
It hits different. When you actually, and the same thing when I'm watching Korean drama, you know, it's one thing to read the subtitles and it's another thing to understand Korean because, ajushi, I used to do the most with those translations. Anyway, and then he just, you know, reminisces about how initially during his career, when he'd start off, and people would ask him, what do you do? And he's like, I work in digital. You know, you're trying to be cool. And people are like, you know what? Other men your age are building mansions, okay? The same pressure Mhesh was doing, okay? Other people are doing this and this and this. Why are you not being ambitious? Yeah? I think, you know, back then, telling people that you're into the arts was looked at like you're wasting our time, you know? Telling a person, you know, I'm in digital media, I do skits and I post them on YouTube, you know, it used to be very frowned upon because you're thinking you're just a time waster, clown, comedian, doing the most. But right now, look at where he is right now. He is a superstar. He is huge. You cannot compare. So the lesson is, whatever you want to do, do it, okay? You're going to have the haters, but do it. If it sparks joy, just do it.
I think my takeaway for this particular conversation, and specifically back then, because I remember I never really used to watch Real Housewives of Ungwaro, to be entirely honest. It also felt a little cringe for me watching it because I'm just like, Kai, this is like Kai, nini.
I even know
And
the apartments
then-
they watch, they shoot from. Yani, I was invested. Najua pale Ndoaru. I know. I
Okay,
know.
you want to drop in and give house number. Anyway, so I was not very keen on it to begin with, but then I see Lupita tweeting and talking about it, and I'm like, okay, what's this? What's this? This woman is watching over here, telling everyone to watch, and there was a whole wave of people actually speaking about it. I remember my friends in diaspora were now talking about it, like, by the have you checked out this show? I'm like, why are you people telling me what I need to watch? Me, I'm here local. I don't watch it, and you're telling me. You know, it brought such a wave of this particular show, and a lot of people actually hopped onto this show, especially people in diaspora, simply because Lupita said it's a show people must watch. You know what I mean? And it brought me to that point of mind where I'm like, look what influence can do.
Yep.
Look what one tweet has caused a whole show and has brought a whole demographic to a show that no one would have honestly taken interest in were it not for this new awareness. I'm not saying that it wasn't a good show. It was doing very well locally, but it opened up the diaspora people. It opened up her fans to watching this show, being curious as to what is this show that you guys are talking about, or what is this show that you're showing. And it really does go back to the statement where we need to be more careful with the advantages in life that we have. We need to be more careful with the kinds of powers of influence that we have, not just as celebrities or celebrities in general. I mean, even people in societies, in churches, in school. If you have a little bit of popularity, or if people actually listen to you, be very careful as to what ammunition you give them, because that ammunition can change a lot. Like, one word from you can influence a lot of people into making either very good decisions or extremely horrible decisions. My point is, use your power and take advantage of it, but make sure that it is for the good of people around you and for the good of yourself. Don't be selfish about it. Don't be over here spewing hateful messages and negativity and vileness on social media and causing other people hurt. You know what I mean? Imagine if Lupita Nyong'o, remember the same thing happened when she was talking, when people were talking about her being the ambassador for, you know, tourism, for Kenya, and she actually was the first person in mind, as opposed to Naomi and all of that stuff. And it became a whole other thing because she actually said the truth over, again, Twitter. She's like, no one sent me a message. No one said anything. And even the Minister of Tourism had to be there vocalizing and saying, oh, by the way, we should have... Like, he actually had to join into the conversation simply because Lupita decided to tweet or to post on social media, on Instagram or whatever. Think about that kind of influence. Like, she has the influence of either good or bad. So choose what you use your power with. Choose what you use your influence on. Because at the end of the day, consequences are consequences, and you don't want to be a bad leader. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Moving on to another absolutely hilarious story.